Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this fucking show on the road, alright? This is the WWE Raw August 10th, 2026 review. This show sucked ass. Boring as fuck. Barely paid attention to it. Didn't care. I mean, I'm getting tired of this shit. Fucking Monday night, spending almost 3 hours of my freaking time watching a show that means absolutely nothing. I'm tired of this. This is not enjoyable. This is fucking boring. It really is. It is absolutely fucking boring to sit through this shit. And honestly, I'm getting tired of it. So let's get this dumb review over with so I can head to bed and start work all over again, because this shit's so much fun. I don't know how much longer I'm going to keep doing this, guys, because I'm getting tired of this shit. This stuff sucks. Not to mention, the viewership on the channel all of a sudden has dropped heavily. It was averaging between 70 to 100 views, which isn't a lot anyway to begin with, but still it was a lot better than what I've been getting recently. I don't know why the viewership has dropped so low, but let's go over this trashy show, shall we? Because honestly, I got better things to do than sit here and talk about this trash. So the show actually kicked off with Solo Sikoa appears in the crowds mocking the Usos theme song. Sikoa asks if he's in the right place. Sikoa says he's now in their city. A Solo chant picked up, and Solo says the bloodline took out his boy, Royce Keys, and Sikoa is here to handle some family business. Okay. This was the part of the show that seemed like things were heading in the right direction, until it wasn't. I honestly thought we were going to get another decent, watchable show. We unfortunately did not receive that here tonight. We got a lackluster load of shit with promise in the beginning, and then shit at the end. And the rest of it in the middle was an absolute bore fest. So that goes to show you. Jey Uso comes out to the ring and he looks none too pleased with his little brother. And Uso looks into the crowd where Sikoa is mocking him. Crowd wants Uso to run it back, but he doesn't. Uso asks, "You really want to do this, little brother? You want to air out our family laundry in front of the whole world to see again?" Uso says Sikoa knows how to fix this issue. The tribal chief called the play, so Uso needs Sikoa to fall in line. Sikoa incredulously asked, "Fall in line?" Sikoa asked how that worked out for Uso. Did Uso fall in line because it looks like he fell off? Sikoa says Uso was once a world champion. He won the Royal Rumble, beat Gunther at WrestleMania. Every time the people heard his music, the kids were happy. The crowd signals for Uso to run it back. Sikoa says that's all out the window and says it sucks to be Uso now. Sikoa already told him that he's not coming back to the family. Sikoa loves where he's at, being by himself, and saying, as do the people of Virginia. He asks him, is he red or what? And the fans agreed. The crowd roars and starts a Solo chant. Uso can tell his tribal chief. Uso cuts him off and says, "Man, shut your cocky, spoiled, disrespectful ass up, Solo." Uso says he raised and fed him. Uso changed his diapers. This is all Jey. The whole reason he's here is because of the Usos. The reason why Sokoa has a big house and his family is set for life is because of the bloodline. Sokoa thinks this is a game, but they'll handle this the only way their family knows how. Uso versus Sokoa tonight. The crowd cheers. When he wins, Sokoa will fall in line and join the bloodline. Uso will deliver his ass first class to the tribal chief. This is a warning shot. Bang! Sokoa pretends to duck and the warning shot and checks on the people behind him. I thought that was a funny part of this promo. Sokoa tells him to calm down before saying, I accept. Sokoa says that when he beats Uso, Uso and this messed up family can leave him alone at that point. This is Uso's warning shot. Sokoa says, pew! And Sokoa nods as the crowd chuckles and Uso paces in the ring. So, the main event of tonight's episode was Solo Sikoa and Jey Uso. Later in the show, we did get Sikoa talking to LA Knight, seeing if he would actually intervene in case someone was to interrupt the match. And LA Knight had nothing to do with it. He said, I am not part of it. It was a one-time thing. It was great that we were able to be good compadres and work together, but that was a one-time only, no more. You're on your own, I'm on my own. That's the way he made it. Why? I don't know. I think that's absolutely retarded. He said, you know how the bloodline works. They're gonna go ahead and attack you and me or anyone else that gets in their way. So, yeah. That was pretty much the whole gist of that shit. Does this sound intriguing? Does this sound different to you guys? Does it sound new and fresh to you? It really don't to me. It seems like the same old shit. So, we're having a tournament to crown a number one contender to face Roman Reigns on a Mexico Monday Night Raw episode so that they can challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship. From AAA only. Or Lucha Libre wrestlers can face Roman Reigns for the world title. Later on in the show, LA Knight addressed to Adam Pearce, hey, I got a mask I can put on. I can become a luchador. You can put me into the tournament. He says, no, this is not how this works. When this tournament's over and whoever challenges Roman for the world title, whoever that winner is, we will find a way to get you a number one contender shot opportunity for the world championship. They basically gave away the results of this entire tournament. No matter who wins, it's going to be Roman Reigns. Because, I don't know. It just seems like they just kind of gave that shit away anyway on this episode tonight. But what does it matter? We all know that Roman's going to retain the title anyhow. So anyway, the first match of the night was Penta versus Laredo Kid. The other competitors in this tournament was Psycho Clown versus La Parka. God almighty. Dragon Lee versus El Hedro de Dr. Wagner Jr. Okay. And Ray Phoenix versus El Physical. I don't know. What does it fucking matter? We know who's coming down to the finals. It's going to be Penta versus Ray Phoenix. So anyway, Jey Uso's walking backstage when he finds Jimmy Uso and Jacob Fatu. Fatu asks what he's doing. Jey says he's trying to handle the Solo problem. Fatu says it sounds like Jey is running the play by himself and forgetting about them. Jey says he'll personally bring Sikoa back to the family, something Fatu couldn't do, and Fatu warns Jey to bring Solo back to the family. Jey will battle Solo Sikoa later on in the night. Penta ends up beating Laredo Kid, obviously. This was nothing special. It was just your typical luchador flip-flops, dive bullshit. Nothing exciting here. I honestly did. This crowd was absolutely fucking dead throughout most of this show. I honestly did not fucking care about this show at all. I spent most of my time looking at UFC bets. I did not give a shit about this show. This show is fucking boring as shit. Last week's episode was very enjoyable and watchable. I thought we were going to get the same result here. SmackDown wasn't that bad either. It was passable to watch. But this episode, fucking boring as shit. I did not care. So Penta will end up battling either Psycho Clown or La Parka in the semifinals. I'm going to go with La Parka since he's a classic WCW cruiserweight wrestler. That's what I'm assuming is going to happen there. Anyway, backstage, Brian Saxon is backstage with the Vision. Saxon asks about the bad blood between the Vision and the Alpha Academy. Logan Paul says the Alpha Academy are losers. The only bad blood is Otis's blood pressure. Maxine Dupree puts over her boyfriend Austin Theory. Theory says he's going to give Akira Tozawa the ass kicking he deserves. Theory says he deserves Dupree. Paul, Theory, and Dupree walk off, but a focused Braun Breaker stays behind. He's really rattled by the idea that Obafemi is being looked at as the future of WWE when earlier this year and even late last year he was looked at as the future of WWE. Now all talks are going to Obafemi, which is a nice little storyline and character development we're seeing from Braun Breaker here. This I do like. This is part of the show that I enjoyed watching tonight. That's the one positive I'll take out of this show. This was good. I enjoyed watching this. I am enjoying... He walked up to Paul Heyman tonight. He had a conversation with him. Paul Heyman was trying to do everything he could without hurting the man's feelings. He does believe Obafemi is the future of WWE. But he doesn't want to say that to Braun Breaker. He doesn't want to hurt his feelings because he knows for a fact that was what Paul Heyman was saying Braun Breaker was as well. He could have said, you're both the future. You are a specimen from a laundry list of family members who worked in pro wrestling and knows how to be main eventers. You will be that. You will be the future, but Obafemi is that other guy too. He is a guy that showed me something I never thought anyone could do, and that's beat the Beast at his own game. And he shut me up. And he shut up Brock. And he earned our respect. You, on the other hand, I have a personal feelings for, and at the same time, I do believe you are also the future of this company. There's not just one person that's going to be the future of this company. There's a laundry list of guys that have to work together to carry this company on their backs. Not one person can do it all by themselves. When you have that, it's not going to always turn out to be the best. Stone Cold did it for a couple of years, but then they started slowly getting those building blocks. Kane, Undertaker, Triple H, The Rock, Mankind, all those guys worked alongside with Steve Austin to help elevate that brand back in those days. Without them, it wouldn't have overcame WCW, no matter how good Steve Austin was. You didn't have the Triple H's, your Rocks, Mankind's, and all the other names that were very valuable to the roster back then. It wouldn't have made it. I don't care how good Steve Austin was. Even if you had Hulk Hogan himself and you had this boring ass shit, it wouldn't have gotten over. Hogan wouldn't have gotten over. Hogan would have had to turn heel for all that to work. And even that wouldn't have helped that company because they didn't have a great roster back then when Hogan was getting older and went off to WCW. So, bottom line is, they are going to need other future stars. Obafemi ain't the only guy that's a future star in WWE. So, For them not to throw that out there is kind of disappointing. It's kind of like there's disrespecting Braun Breaker in a sense, which I find absolutely astonishing, honestly. But it is what it is. Anyway, let's continue on with this. Saxon cautiously says he likes him. Breaker asks if Satin thinks Femi is the future, and Saxon says that's what Brock Lesnar said. Breaker says Saxon sounds like Paul Heyman and walks off. So, a lot of people, anyone that's asked this question when Braun Breaker asks it, they're concerned about how they respond. They're worried he's going to attack them and whatnot. He is Scott Steiner. That's the truth. He is Scott Steiner. There are rumors running around now that his brother, or actually not his brother, his cousin, that is in the NFL with the Saints, he's a wide receiver, might be cut from the NFL based on some issues that are happening behind the scenes with him. And a lot of people are thinking he might go to the WWE after this, if he doesn't make it in the NFL. I hope they don't team them together. I don't want to see that. I want to see Braun Breaker thrive. I think Braun Breaker has the skills and capabilities of making it as a singles competitor. He reminds me a lot of his uncle, Scott Steiner. And he's so fucking good at what he does. I want to see the guy succeed on his own. So Austin Theory and Tozawa was next. This was nothing. Tozawa got his ass kicked by Austin Theory. And Theory posed in the ring afterwards. Theory isn't done with Tozawa and begins punching away at him. Theory goes outside to celebrate with Division. Dupree hands Theory a chair and lovingly tells him he has to crush Tozawa. And Adam Pearce runs down with other WWE officials to stop this before it gets out of control. Then all of a sudden, Oba Femi shows up, and Femi struts down to the ring and big boots Theory down in the aisleway, and Femi and Breaker never take their eyes off of each other. Femi gets on the apron and gets in the ring, but Pearce and the WWE officials immediately get between them, and Breaker smiles at the intense Femi. Nothing happens between them at this point. So we're teasing a match between these two already. Eek, I don't like that idea. Leaves Braun Breaker taking an L here, which at this point he can't afford, and with Oba Femi needing to move up higher and higher to earn that right to challenge for a world championship at some point, which he already has that opportunity. Why, I don't know why they haven't had him enforce that King of the Ring win, but apparently they're just going to pretend like it never happened even though it did, which to me makes absolutely no fucking sense. But hey, this is WWE for you. Anyway, Kathy Kelly asks Rey Mysterio about the match between Penta and Laredo Kid. Mysterio says Roman Reigns will have his hands full when they get to Mexico City. Dragon Lee comes up and thanks Mysterio for the opportunity, and Dominic Mysterio is furious that he wasn't added to the tournament. Ray says he didn't think that Dominic needed another handout, which is how he got here in the first place. Lee tells Dominic to have some respect, and Lee will ask Adam Pearce for a match against Dominic here tonight. Dominic says he'll show him who the real king of the luchadors are. And Dominic Mysterio later on in the show, whenever this match took place, took an L. That's right, folks. He took a L. I don't know how many losses in a row he's suffered, but he has suffered plenty. And he's carrying around the AAA World Championship. Boy, is that going to come to an end real fast. Oh man, this is fucking trash. Stephanie Vaquer shows up. She pretty much talks out of her ass, tells everyone how she's going to go after the world championship. She greets the crowd, says she really missed the ring every Monday Night Raw and the people. She thanks them for all their support. Most of all, she really misses seeing Liv Morgan, and Judgment Day gets scared every time they see her coming. No one can destroy her. She'll destroy the Judgment Day one by one. She'll defeat Raquel Rodriguez so many times. She's defeated Raquel Rodriguez so many times. Roxanne Perez is a dead woman. As for Liv Morgan, she knows she is scared. Morgan should be. They both know the title belongs to Vaquer. Then Becky Lynch heads down to the ring, and Lynch stares at Vaquer before shouting, "The man has come around to Norfolk, Virginia." Lynch greets Vaquer, and Vaquer asks what she wants. Lynch says she wants the same thing Vaquer wants, to beat the ever-living piss out of Liv Morgan. Lynch knows Vaquer has a score to settle. Lynch just doesn't like Morgan. Morgan has taken the title back to the mid-2000s, where it's hardly defended. And Lynch has worked too hard for that to happen. Lynch doesn't know much about Vaquer. She's an enigma. Very mysterious. She knows Vaquer has made a big impact on Raw in a short period of time, and Lynch knows that is especially impressive since she's gone more often than she's here. Vaquer has had a run of bad luck. It happens to be the best of them. Lynch wonders if the pressure crushes her or if her body gives up so her mind doesn't have to. The title doesn't need any more bad luck. Lynch isn't lucky, but she is good. Vaquer can settle her score with Morgan, while Lynch will cheer her on, but when it comes down to the championship matches, let's leave that to her in her domain. Vaquer doesn't deserve the title deserves Lynch. Nice little twist there. Vaquer respectfully says she doesn't care. Vaquer warns that if Lynch gets in her way, she'll show her what La Primera is all about. Vaquer walks off, and Liv Morgan tries to attack Lynch from behind. Morgan goes for the Oblivion, but Lynch blocks it and hits a Bex bloater. Vaquer runs into the ring to attack Morgan, but Morgan escapes. And Lynch and Vaquer go face to face and argue, and Lynch then leaves the ring. Wow. This is compelling stuff, let me tell you, folks. Kathy Kelly is with LA Knight. She asks where he stands after last week. Knight says Roman Reigns said his same old boring stuff. Knight says all his watch says it's his time. Knight mentions that he wants a tournament to win a shot. Kelly says it's a AAA luchador tournament, and Solo Sikoa walks up and says he has an issue. But Knight says it was only one night. Sikoa says it's Knight versus the Bloodline. Sikoa wanted to at least warn him. And that was it. That was pretty much all there was. So anyway, Dominic Mysterio takes an L to Dragon Lee. I'm not going to go over this. I really don't even go over the matches. I just go over how the results went. After the match was over, Dragon Lee celebrates and Big Cass attacks him from behind. Cass applies a bear hug before hitting a East River crossing finishing maneuver. Javon Evans, who was attacked by Cass last week, runs down for the save, and Evans kicks him and goes for an OG cutter, but Cass punches him out of midair, and Cass sizes Evans up and hits a big boot. The crowd loudly boos Big Cass, and that's pretty much the end of the segment. Big fucking whoop. Anyway, Brian Saxon is backstage with Soruka. She says she's sick of being in the Judgment Day vortex. Tonight's all about revenge. After she beats Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, she's going after what's hers. Saxon asks if she has a partner. Danhausen appears and offers his services, but Ruka says it's covered. And he's asking around for money. Apparently, he did not say the money he had. But then again, he gave it away to other people. And the money was fake anyway, so who gives a fuck? Anyway. LA Knight is arguing with Raw GM Adam Pearce about not being included in the number one contenders tournament. Pearce says they'll find a spot for him, and Jacob Fatu confronts him, but he's under orders from Roman Reigns to not touch LA Knight. Fatu warns Knight to stop running his mouth or he'll take matters into his own hands, and Fatu is fired up at this point. That's all there is to it. Anyway, we get the tag team match between Raquel Rodriguez, which, by the way, her intercontinental title is not wrapped up in barbed wire. It was a one-time only thing. Way to go. And she teamed with Roxanne Perez against Sol Ruca and Io Sky. This was not a terrible match. She ends up hitting the Soul Snatcher and hits that on, I believe, Roxanne Perez, and gets the victory. So, an elated Sol Ruca celebrates with Io Sky in the ring. Then we go to Paul Heyman. He's asked by Braun Breaker, does he think that Obafemi is the future of WWE? And I've already kind of gone over this. He kind of backpedals, kind of words it correctly in a way that wouldn't get Braun Breaker to get pissed off at him. And at the end of all this, he said, look, if you want me to change my mind about respecting Obafemi after what he has done with Brock Lesnar and ending the Beast, then at that point, if you can finish him and beat him in a one-on-one match, then you will have me not respect him anymore at that point. Is pretty much the whole gist of what he tried to say at the end of all this, to get Braun Breaker off of his back, pretty much. And he felt the pressure because when he was walking away, he went ahead and he went, he had a sigh of relief, and he had that like evil eye that he always seems to have when he feels like he's being pressured on or what have you. But it is what it is. I mean, this show is fucking boring. Really, it was. It was a fucking dull show. But yeah, I was not in this show. The show just sucked ass. I really can't stand this. And then after the match was over and they head backstage, well, actually, before that, Penta, Rey Mysterio is congratulating Penta backstage, and Chad Gable then comes up and says, this number one contenders tournament is one of the coolest things he's done. Gable wants to show some respect and put the title on the line against Mysterio. Mysterio says he may be AAA's general manager, but he has a lot in the tank, so he would be honored to face Chad Gable for the title. They shake hands, and Gable says he'll talk to Adam Pearce about that. Why are we giving out title opportunities by the champion just because he has respect for them? You know, I don't quite understand this. We don't have heels versus baby faces anymore. We generally have baby faces versus baby faces, okay? We don't have a ranking system. We don't have wins and losses. If you're not going to have friction amongst characters on the show, you're trying to make this like a so-called legitimate sport. Like as if it was the UFC or boxing. Why the fuck don't you have a ranking system to at least make some fucking plausible sense as to why these championship matches are occurring on the fucking show. See, if you had a fucking ranking system and you wanted to randomly throw championship opportunities all over the place on these random episodes of Raw and SmackDown, at least we'd have something to understand as to why it's happening. But then they'd have to focus on the wins and losses, and we don't want to make things too damn hard on these fucking people to make sense of why these championship matches take place. I'm so fucking sick of this shit. This show has no fucking drive. It has nothing. It has no fucking meaning or purpose on these shows. Literally nothing. Now, if you're not going to give me a heel versus babyface storyline progressions where two characters are butting heads, one's looking to cheat, the other one's trying to survive through the obstacles that are thrown at him to overcome the heel at some point, then, and you don't want to do that anymore because the fans just cheer for whoever the fuck they want, fine, but go ahead and have a fucking ranking system with wins and losses that means something. At least then you can project and understand who the fuck's winning, who the fuck's losing, and where they should be ranked. I mean, what's so fucking hard about this shit? I'm totally fine with the work. I watched House of Glory yesterday, okay? I didn't watch it live on Friday. I was watching an MMA promotion this past Friday, so I didn't watch it live. But I went back on my weekend. I watched House of Glory. I enjoyed myself. Did it have a shitload of story? No. It had really good wrestling and enjoyable content. But there's a rhyme and a reason to it. They give purpose to it. This fucking clown, Triple H, just randomly throws championship matches at us with no rhyme or reason. If you had a ranking system with wins and losses, then guess what? People would actually be understanding as to why the fuck we're getting the damn match. But, you know, just do what you do, Triple H. You do what you do, which is nothing. It sucks, like your face and your big ass fucking nose. Stupid cocksucker. God. Solo Sikoa and Io Sky, they're walking backstage celebrating, and then all of a sudden, Lyra Valkyria, the psychopath, who hasn't looked like she's taken a fucking shower in years, or had a fucking day worth of sleep, says she bets Ruka is feeling so good and ready to backflip her way to her Intercontinental Championship. Ruka asks what Valkyria did to deserve a title match. Valkyria tells her to ask Bayley. If Ruka gets in the way of her getting the title she created back, she will regret it. Valkyria asks Sky what she's looking at and leaves. Basically, she's a little creeped out by her and says, is she okay? And Ruka says, Valkyria needs some sleep. Oh, well, what was your first fucking clue, Cloudy? Anyway, to the main event, thank Christ. Jey Uso, Solo Sikoa, main event. Jimmy interfered at the end of all this. Solo Sikoa got distracted by Jimmy. He did the thumb to the neck. I forgot what the fuck they call that move. Trying to remember that fucking move. Samoan Spike, excuse me. He hits him with the Samoan Spike to the throat. Jimmy falls to the ground. And then Jay spears him and then hits the Samoan splash from the top rope and gets the 1-2-3 clean. We just got to see this man stand out on his own. He was entertaining. He looked like he was having fun and enjoying his character development that he was starting to get. Now he's going to be part of the bloodline again. Not of his own choice, but because he lost a match. Are we fucking joking here? Like, what the fuck is this? I absolutely hate this fucking show. I hate this product overall. I think WWE needs to get lost. It is not fun to watch this shit. There's nothing entertaining about it. It is a complete and utter waste of my fucking time. And I really wish that they'd either do better, like they did last week. I think last week was a decent, watchable show. I will live with a watchable show and see it gradually grow to being a massive, impressive show. But I'll take baby steps for a little while. I'll take it. But my God, you guys went from a decent, watchable show last week, same with SmackDown, and then you give us this slop of shit to watch for almost 3 whole hours. I honestly think they are just trolling people. That's all I think they do. They just troll people. Here we go, we're going to give you a load of shit. And you enjoy. We don't need to try. You fucking idiots, show up. I think this company sucks to its fucking core. And the best thing that could ever happen to this product is just to disappear. But anyway, guys, that's all I have to say at this time. Go ahead, hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. And I thank you guys very much for watching. Have a great night, guys.